They came from everywhere: small towns, big cities, quiet back roads, and busy highways. Some drove for hours. Others packed into church buses and vans, filled with choir robes, tambourines, and faith. They weren't coming for a concert or even a Sunday service. This was something different. Something special. They were gathering at a church in Jackson, Mississippi. And it was packed. Every seat taken. People stood along the walls, sat on the steps, and even spilled out into the lobby. All for one reason: Mama Mosie Burks. But it wasn't to hear her sing this time. It was to say thank you. From the moment the organ began to play slow, deep, and reverent, you could feel the atmosphere shift. This wasn't a performance. It felt sacred, like something holy was about to happen. The Mississippi Mass Choir came out first, dressed in their robes, faces serious and focused. Their voices filled the church with power and peace. It didn't sound like music, it sounded like prayer. Then, the energy in the room changed. A wheelchair slowly moved down the center aisle. The crowd went silent. Sitting in that chair was Mama Mosie. She's now in her late 80s, but her presence was still as strong as ever. She wore her signature white hat and sat quietly, hands folded. She didn't have to say anything. Her presence spoke louder than words. People stood up instinctively. Some cried, others reached toward her. The music stopped. The choir stopped. The entire church seemed to hold its breath. This was the woman who once turned a simple song, "I'm not tired yet," into a powerful message of faith. A message for anyone barely holding on. She didn't just sing gospel, she lived it. Her life wasn't easy. She grew up with very little, lost people she loved, and faced more than her share of hardship. But she held on to her faith through it all. She didn't perform for applause. When she took the microphone, she was giving testimony. You could hear her whole journey in her voice: joy, pain, strength, and gratitude all rolled into one. She often spoke about the hard nights, the quiet prayers, and the moments when she wasn't sure if God was listening. That honesty made people feel close to her, like she wasn't just a gospel singer, she was family. On this night, when she reached the front, a few close friends helped her stand. The entire room erupted in cheers and tears. And then she spoke. Her voice was softer now, but still full of the strength everyone remembered. "I can't jump and shout like I used to," she said with a smile, "but I still have a praise in me." The church exploded in celebration. Some people danced. Others fell to their knees in prayer. It wasn't about the volume, it was about the spirit. People weren't just watching her, they were connecting with her. Then, something happened. Something quiet, but powerful. Mama Mosie looked around the room. Slowly. Carefully. She took it all in: the people, the choir, the stained glass windows above. Then, she bowed her head. And everything stopped. Not a sound. Not a single movement. 30 seconds of complete silence. It felt like time had paused. Some thought she was praying. Others thought maybe it was all too much. But many believed something deeper was happening. Like she was passing something on. Like she knew this might be her last time in that space. When the music finally returned, something had shifted. Everyone was watching her closely, every move, every breath. It wasn't just a tribute anymore. It felt like a farewell. No one wanted to say it out loud. But the feeling hung in the air. Maybe the crowd wasn't ready to say goodbye, but maybe Mama Mosie was. Afterward, whispers filled the church. In the quiet corners, outside on the steps, even later on Facebook. Did you notice how long she paused? She looked tired, but peaceful. Was that her goodbye? The next morning, phone videos of the tribute were everywhere online. Clips of her being wheeled in. The moment she stood. Her soft but strong voice. But it was that 30 seconds of silence that kept getting shared the most. One user called it the moment heaven got quiet. Then, 2 days later, something strange happened. A photo appeared on Mama Mosie's official Facebook page. It was black and white. She was sitting in a church pew, her head bowed, a soft ray of sunlight on her face. There was no caption. No explanation. Just that image. It looked like something you'd see in a documentary or on a memorial. It felt like a goodbye. People were stunned. "This feels like her final message," one fan wrote. "That light looks like God's hand," another said. The post spread quickly, shared by hundreds. And then, just as suddenly, it was gone. Deleted. That only deepened the mystery. Was it a mistake? Or was it a quiet, graceful way to say farewell? Her family didn't say anything. No official word. No news releases. Just silence. Which, in some ways, said more than any statement ever could. Later, gospel legend Dorothy Norwood went live on Instagram. With tears in her eyes, she said, "There was a lot of spirit in that room. If this was her last show, then baby, she went out in style." Fans flooded her with love. Other gospel artists began posting their tributes. "Thank you, Mama," many of them wrote. Tasha Cobbs Leonard shared a clip of the tribute and added, "What a legacy. What a lady." Even younger singers, who'd never met Mama Mosie, shared how her voice helped them through breakups, faith struggles, and loss. Radio hosts picked up on it too. One gospel station started a special segment called the Mosie Moment, where listeners called in to cry, remember, and pray. "I saw that video and just started crying," one woman said. "I don't even know why. Her spirit just touched something deep inside me." And then, a quiet rumor began to spread. There might be one last recording. A final project done in private. No press, no noise. Just Mama Mosie, a few trusted musicians, and one microphone. Her voice wasn't perfect anymore, but that didn't matter. It was real. It was raw. It was worship at its purest. She even recorded a spoken prayer she had written years ago. And in one unreleased song, she ends by whispering, "I'm going home soon." No one knows if it will ever be released. Some say it's meant just for her family. Others believe it will come out someday, when the time is right. But knowing it exists makes everything feel more complete. That night wasn't just a tribute, it was the beginning of her goodbye. And true to who she is, Mama Mosie hasn't said a word since. No interviews. No social media posts. Just quiet. Just grace. Just like she always lived. One pastor who spoke with her recently said she didn't seem sad. She felt at peace. She told him, "I've already said enough. I don't need to sing again." Maybe that's the most powerful thing of all. Mama Mosie Burks said more with her spirit than most people do with whole albums. She didn't chase the spotlight. She didn't look for praise. She just served. And now, even in silence, she's still ministering. Still comforting. Still inspiring. Because Mama Mosie didn't just sing gospel. She was gospel. And if this really is the end, what a beautiful goodbye it is. And so, as the church lights dimmed and the final notes faded, something sacred remained in the air, something that can't be described with words alone. What happened in that room wasn't just a service or a celebration. It was a moment of shared spirit, of gratitude, and of something bigger than all of us. It was a farewell that didn't need to be spoken. Mama Mosie didn't walk away with fanfare. She didn't ask for applause. She never needed to. Her life, her voice, her testimony, they spoke louder than any microphone ever could. In a world where so many chase attention, she chose humility. Where others performed, she ministered. And when others fell quiet, she lifted her voice in praise for everyone who couldn't. That night wasn't just an ending, it felt like a passing of the torch. A quiet moment where the legacy moved forward, not with press releases or headlines, but with reverence. The silence she left behind didn't feel empty. It felt full. Full of memories. Full of meaning. Full of love. Maybe we don't need an official statement. Maybe we don't need to ask what comes next. Maybe, like she said, she's already said enough. Because Mama Mosie Burks didn't just change gospel music, she changed people. She helped generations hold on through heartbreak, through grief, through joy, and through doubt. She gave people strength to keep going when they felt like giving up. And even in silence, she's still doing that. So, if this is truly goodbye, then let it be a goodbye filled with joy, not sorrow. A celebration, not sadness. Let it be a thank you. For the songs. For the spirit. For the stories. For the moments that healed and the prayers that lifted us. And to Mama Mosie, wherever you are, whether you're resting, reflecting, or already singing with the angels, we see you. We hear you. We honor you. And most of all, we thank you. You showed us how to praise in pain. You showed us what true faith sounds like. And now, even as your voice grows still, your spirit echoes louder than ever. This isn't just the end of a song. It's the beginning of a legacy that will never fade. Rest well, Mama. Your praise lives on.